Hi, and welcome to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce Member Connection. I'm the president, Eric Knowles, but before we get started, a word from one of our supporters. And welcome back to the Miami-Dade Chamber's Member Connection. And yeah, it's exciting when you interview people who are doing so many great things in our community. And today I have the pleasure of having Veronica Bernace, who is with United Way. And we all know the great things that United Way is doing in our community. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing well. Very happy to be here, getting to speak about the work that we do in the community.
And you're the senior development officer. But before we go into that, we're going to touch a little bit about you. I hear you like to travel.
Yes, I'm a big believer that our community is not just the city where we're raised in, but the entire world. So I think
Okay.
it really develops a person to see more than just the neighborhood they grew up in. So I've been blessed in that regard.
I like that our community is more than just the neighborhood we grew up in. Now, the other thing that I'm sure a lot of people know about you, because I'm sure they probably come knocking on your door, because I hear that you're like this amazing baker. So how did that come about?
I will say it comes at genetics.
Okay.
My mom was always in the kitchen, my grandmother as well. And so I learned from a very early point in life, I enjoyed expressing myself in the kitchen. And a little bit into the pandemic, late 2020, I decided to actually answer all those knocks on the door
Right.
and start baking on a more professional level. So I have a
Okay.
little side business with that.
Okay.
And it's again, really thanks to my mom. So
Okay.
I'm
Well,
lucky.
no, that's great. I'm glad you talk about it because, obviously I run a chamber of commerce. You're the senior development officer for United Way, probably one of the largest nonprofit organizations in our community. But the one thing great, and I think for someone like you and myself, having that ability to do other things, and that helps you be better at being a senior development officer.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad you brought it up in that way because I feel really strongly about that. I am blessed that I can pursue this other venture because I want to, not because I need to.
Right.
So many in our community are working 2, maybe 3 jobs because they have to.
Right.
And so it really fuels my passion for what I do on a day-to-day basis, making sure that everyone is aware of our work, can support our work, advocate on our behalf, and really make sure that our services are available for all to really utilize.
And I know you're here. We're here to talk about United Way. But if someone wants to find out about those cookies or other things, how can they do that?
So I do have a website. It's Rainbowlicious Delights.
Rainbowlicious.
Yes, that 100%. Or to my mom.
Okay.
She's very creative and light. And when she originally thought of the name, she wanted something that was fun and evoked joy.
That's a lot of fun. Rainbowlicious.
Right?
I love it.
So you can find me on the website or on Instagram, same name.
Okay, great. So United Way, what drew you to United Way?
So I always knew my passion was in serving the community. From a young age, I knew I wanted to serve. And I being born and raised in Miami, had heard about our organization through school and the workplace campaigns that we do. So it was always a familiar name. But once I realized the actual work that we do and how it really provides tangible impacts in people's lives, I realized that I wanted to be part of that change. So when the pandemic came, I was able to transition from what I was previously doing in finance to the nonprofit sector and really living a valuable life doing some good work.
Right. And again, as I said, United Way is one of the largest nonprofits and probably doing some, not probably, doing some of the most important work in our community. Um, Talk about United Way and those things that they're doing.
Absolutely. So besides being one of the largest nonprofits in our community, we're also one of the oldest. We'll be 100 years young.
I was going to ask you
soon.
about that.
So in 2024, we'll officially be celebrating our first 100 years in the
Oh,
community.
wow. That's going to be a huge celebration.
Absolutely. And in terms of what we actually do, so we believe in bringing people and resources together to build a stronger Miami.
Okay.
We focus specifically on education, financial stability, and health, since these issues worked collectively really make tangible impacts on people's lives. We offer direct services such as our Center for Financial Stability and also fund over 100 programs in the community. Programs like Goodwill, the YWCA, Big Brothers Big Sisters, all of those receive United Way funding.
Wow. So, I don't think a lot of us in our community understand the impact that United Way has. And when you talk about Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and these other organizations, they're organizations within themselves that are fairly large.
Absolutely.
And United Way, doing what they do to help ensure that those agencies are delivering to their clients, so on and so forth. What has been, and you said you just started not that long ago.
No, not that long ago. It'll be 2 years
Okay.
in January.
Okay.
So, and I actually just transitioned to my current role almost 2 months ago.
Okay, we'll talk about that. And what was your daily grind like as a senior development officer?
So I am lucky enough to work with two of our giving communities, Link, which is our group for our under 30 donors, and Young Leaders, which is our giving community for young professionals under 40. My day-to-day is really helping them create the events that we want to have for our donors, advocate on behalf of our work to get new Link members, new young leaders, really individuals that are poised to be Miami's next community leaders.
Right. Which is very important.
Absolutely.
Because one day I want to sit down and go fishing or something.
Eventually. But no, so I get to work with our donors and volunteers and really pushing our message out and making new connections. So important these days.
And when you think about it's a very important thing that you're doing, like you said, the young leaders, because Miami, so much has changed in the last few years, and so many new faces have arrived in Miami. How have you all been engaging with the new Miamians or the transplants, I guess we would call it? Do you find yourself making an effort to engage with the folks who are just coming down here?
Absolutely. We have been in the community for a really long time, and we think we're a great one-stop shop to really learn about what is Miami, who is Miami, how can we help Miami grow and get to the better stage. So we've definitely been proactive in reaching out to individuals and companies alike that have moved down so they can really see the whole picture of Miami. We obviously have a very strong tech scene now. The glitz and glam of Miami Beach is always a draw, but there's other parts to our community that deserve focus, and we really want to make sure everyone who's coming into Miami is aware of that and knows how to improve it.
And so how do you do that? I mean, again, like you said, since the pandemic, a lot of companies have moved from the north.
Yes.
For many reasons. Obviously, we were all stuck in our homes. And when you live in a major city where you're living in a condo or an apartment and you couldn't go out, and the other part of it, when it's 30 degrees You couldn't dine out where we could dine out 100% outside during the pandemic. And so how does United Way, you as a senior development officer, go out to engage? Because there are a lot of companies that have moved here.
Absolutely. So we try to do this in a twofold manner. The first is really host our own networking events, really give people an opportunity to get to know each other and establish connections here in the city. But we also do our part by joining organizations such as the Chamber
Right.
and really putting our name out there. And it's in our mission really to bring people together. So by making those connections, having those events, and putting ourselves in a position to where we are the one place where everyone goes to.
Yeah, the one-stop shop, I
Yeah.
guess you would call it. In those 2 years, what would you say has been your biggest challenge?
This is a very easy one to answer. Getting out of my own way. I can be a
Okay.
bit shy, and I love to speak about our work, but I won't be the first to speak up in a room. And so really overcoming that and learning how to be more comfortable speaking in a public manner has been the
Right. I
biggest
mean,
challenge.
because having that moniker United Way, kind of like the door is open.
For sure. And everyone's ready to hear. So it's
Right.
really been me having to learn how to speak up better.
Okay. Well, you're doing a pretty good job now.
Thank you.
Um, I know that United Way has a new leader.
Yes.
Can you talk about her a little bit?
Absolutely, Samaria Hudson. She is amazing. It's always a joy to see women in leadership, especially in the nonprofit sector. It's not the norm, unfortunately. So to be led by a strong Black woman who has thrived professionally and personally, I mean, it's an inspiration and definitely a good mentor to have.
And how do you say her management style is?
She is very hands-on, and I love it. When she was hired, she told us she liked to walk around and really get to just know everyone in the building. And I have to say, it's absolutely true. And it feels really nice to be known and respected by a leader. We're an organization that has over 200 employees.
Okay.
And so to know that she knows who I am personally, and I'm pretty sure she knows who everyone is
Right.
personally, it's great to be led by her and work with her in that manner.
And again, when we first started, you said that you all support, well, at least 100 organizations.
100 programs run by over 50 community organizations.
Okay. And tell us, again, I know you mentioned Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Talk about some of the other organizations.
Sure thing. So all of these organizations really fall under our 3 pillars of focus. So education, financial stability, or health. With education, we have the Big Brothers, Big Sisters. We also have Boys and Girls Club, YWCA. Goodwill is one that focuses with financial stability. We also fund branches. And then with health, a few other programs that really focus on access to healthcare.
Right.
That's our touch on that. But again, our annual report available on our website goes into much more detail, highlighting which programs from these organizations we fund and why we do it. But yeah.
Interesting. And again, when you think about Big Brothers, Big Sisters, YWCA, branches, and other organizations, they are doing some amazing work. Why is it important for a United Way to be engaged with these companies?
Because collaboration is the only way to really guarantee success. If everyone buys into the change that we're doing and everyone is fully committed to really moving Miami in a stronger and better direction for all, it just guarantees that the work is going to get done and the message is going to be spread. So it's really important that we collaborate, not just individually, but as organizations in the community, and really maintain that standard and reputation.
Now, I know you have a board of directors.
Yes.
And it's quite a big board, right?
Yes, it's over 50 individuals.
Okay. And how does the board engage?
So the board engages. I'm lucky enough that I have met quite a few board members. They're very active with our work, support our programming. They are our biggest advocates in the community, in their own workplaces. And they really work towards spreading the message of what we do. So,
Yeah. And again, United Way, when I think over the years of the work that they do, obviously when we've had hurricanes, when we've had other crises in our community, United Way is always there at the forefront helping
yes.
out. How does someone, if you're not a recipient, how does someone get engaged or become a recipient of the support of United Way?
So our website, unitedwaymiami.org, is a great resource for all of that information. Through there, you can see who to contact if you need assistance in any one specific area. You can also review our volunteermiami.org portal. You could see opportunities there that might be of interest. But if you want to engage in any way, be it you want to help or you need assistance, unitedwaymiami.org will definitely have the information.
So volunteering. So
Yes,
one can volunteer.
absolutely.
Talk about that a little bit.
And again, because I knew from a young age my passion was to really serve, I've always been a fan of really getting my hands dirty and doing the work, not just talking about it, not just funding it, but doing it. And
Mhm.
so it's such a joy to see so many other individuals that feel the same way. And volunteering is core to what we do. Actually, tomorrow, I'm excited. Young Leaders is having our first volunteering event of the season. It's going to be Read for the Record,
Okay.
where we're going into one of our partner agencies and reading to some school-aged children a good book. So,
Okay. And what about seniors? What is United? I know they're doing a lot of work with
yes,
seniors.
we do a lot of work with seniors, and tying it into the giving communities that I work with, link on an annual basis as a senior prom, where we go into an elderly center and we just spend the whole day with them, um, dancing, playing games, really uh, bringing some youth and joy and life into an ordinary day in center.
No, that sounds like something that would be fun.
Yes.
So again, you're going into senior centers and spending time with some folks who probably don't have family.
Absolutely. And especially, I think we noticed doing it earlier this year after the pandemic. Um, so many people were really missing that personal connection. And again, not all have a family to turn back to. So it was great to really see the joy that we were bringing and know that we were making someone's day, maybe week, maybe month, just from spending some quality time.
Right. And here we are in the fall, and I know one of our biggest holidays coming up, Thanksgiving. And you talk about families, et cetera, et cetera. How does United Way get involved with those? We get Thanksgiving, we get Christmas, but I know you all engage quite a bit.
Absolutely. And this year we're engaging on an even deeper level. We are striving to feed 1,000 families this year,
Oh, wow.
which is our biggest number yet.
Okay.
And so we're doing this in a few ways. We are asking all of our corporate partners to host Thanksgiving drives at their jobs and really get everyone involved. If you have some canned goods, you can stand to give away by all means. If you want to purchase some items on Amazon to donate, can do it that way. And then we're having a meal packing activity later this month to really get everyone together and building these kits to deliver to families in need.
So how does one get involved with that? So I'm sure you need volunteers for that.
Absolutely. Volunteermiami.org is the best way to see all of our efforts with our Thanksgiving drive and how to get involved.
Okay. And I believe you all are involved with Give Miami-Dade a little bit.
Yes, I believe we are. Definitely looking forward to getting more involved myself with that. It's not something I've directly touched in my experience, but now I will.
Absolutely. So again, how does someone get in touch with you or get in touch to learn more about United Way and how they can get involved?
Absolutely. So to get in touch with me, I can just reach out to me via email, and that's my last name, Bernace, v@unitedwaymiami.org. A probably simpler way will just be go straight to the website, unitedwaymiami.org. If anyone is under 30 and interested in learning more about Link, you can check out how to get involved on our website. And there's pages for each of our giving communities and the direct phone number or email address that you can utilize to find more information.
Right. Well, this has been great. And if you want to know more about the Miami-Dade Chamber, you can go to m-dcc.org, or you can call the chamber at 305-751-8648. Veronica Bernace, this has been great learning more about United Way. I look forward to engaging with United Way and pushing it out to our members as well.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak with you today, and thank you for having us.
Thank you. This has been the Miami-Dade Chamber Member Connection. Thank you for joining us. Today, I stand before you, a proud graduate of Miami-Dade College and the 5th president of the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. I'm honored to return to the college that prepared me to become a leader in our community, providing an education second to none. So I'm asking you to please tune in every Monday at 12 noon to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce's Member Connection, as I interview members of the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce on our Facebook page at Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce or our YouTube channel, Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce. To learn more about the Chamber, please go to m-dcc.org or call the Chamber at 305-751-8648.